Live from Moscow, this is RT. The Russian Orthodox Church is holding a huge service at Moscow's Christ the Saviour Cathedral in defence of the faith. It follows a number of high-profile cases of vandalism of churches and sacred objects over the past few months. Let's get more on this story and cross live to our correspondent, Jacob Greaves. Jacob, hello to you. On my way to work this morning, I was passing by the historic Gorky Park and then crossing over the Moscow River. I saw loads of buses and a huge funnel of people working their way to the church, the cathedral where you are. Tell us, what is the scene now? I believe the service is ongoing.
Well, yes, it is. And right now we can see and indeed hear thousands of people who have congregated here at Moscow's main cathedral, Christ the Saviour. They're being led in procession by Patriarch Kirill. Now, this precedes a number of hours of mass prayer and also a liturgy service that was given. It's something that's been replicated around the country as a whole at some of the key epicentres of the Orthodox Church in Russia, some of its main cathedrals. And really it's an attempt to drum up support for the faith because it's been coming under some criticism of late and has been facing some troubling times.
Now, Jacob, if I may, certainly there have been some issues, as you were saying. We've had some troubled incidents in the recent past here. Something about a punk band storming the church at one point. Some vandalism of sacred objects. Can you give us a bit more background? Is this why the service is taking place?
Well, sure. Well, you mentioned it yourself there. It's been dubbed a defence of the faith. And indeed, many of the church leaders, among them Patriarch Kirill, think they need just that. That's why this procession, this event, is taking place here today. Now, they say that they've become under attack from an anti-Christian campaign. Indeed, there have been attacks made on a number of church properties around the country. One taking place at a cathedral in Krasnodar, where the front doors, the entrance, was set ablaze. And also some of the religious symbols, sacred symbols, have also been attacked, among them an idol of the Virgin Mary and a crucifix. Some of those were held up high by Patriarch Kirill here today among those crowds that have gathered. Now, really spurring some of this resentment to the church on has been events that took place in February. That's when Pussy Riot, a punk group with a very much protest message, took to Christ the Saviour Cathedral. And there they targeted their song at President-elect Vladimir Putin, but also at Patriarch Kirill and his said support for Vladimir Putin. Now, there was outcry among faithful gatherers at them using such a sacred place for their demonstration. There's also been a lot of condemnation since from human rights groups who don't like how the church handled this saga and how tough it came down, particularly when it came to Pussy Riot.
All right, Jacob, well, as you've been discussing, talking to us here on RT, we have been looking at some live pictures. It's a beautiful day in Moscow, and certainly the crowds are gathering around this iconic cathedral here in central Moscow. We'll get back to those live pictures another time, but for now, RT's Jacob Greaves, many thanks indeed.